Hey everybody, this is Delisa Rose, aka D Rose for Real Estate, that is, and all things real. And I've been asked the question, well, first, thank you again for watching, thank you again for supporting, thank you again for liking. This boy behind here, this young man, Jamar Beasley, is a beast. Beast graphics, real estate, just save the name in your head, you're gonna hear about him. But he asked me, yo, if you could change something in real estate, after 25 years in real estate, top 1% in the country, just Google that stuff, lots of success. He said, what would you change? What would you do differently? And for me, real estate was good, but there is, crazy as it is, a lot of stuff that I would change. And I'm like a analytical kind of person who self-reflects on everything, so I could have the best deal in the world and I'm like, how could it have been better? You know, I could have made a lot of money. I'm like, how could I have made more? I could have failed or done something wrong and been like, what are all the things that I did wrong? So I'm always thinking about what could I have changed and what could I have done better. And I just want to share that stuff, of course, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. But I got into real estate 25 years ago, whenever you're watching this, 2022, and in real estate sales in Texas in 2003. I was Rookie of the Year, came out, first 3 months made $119,000, which was great back in the day. A couple months later made $78,000 and it was on and popping. So there were a lot of things that were done right, but obviously there was a lot that I could change. Fast forward a little bit, I'm not sure who that is, but fast forward a little bit, I found myself making $500,000 a year, then $1 million a year, and I didn't have a target destination. Like, I didn't really have a true objective. I just wanted to be great and make a lot of money. And the crazy part is I was miserable, very miserable, and had a couple tragedies, had a couple medical issues. And I'll go deep. I lost my sister, my brother, my niece, and my nephew in a car accident on Easter Sunday in Atlanta. I then had a lupus flare, became like paralyzed, unable to move like half my body, and lost my grandparent and then another grandparent. And I began to realize that life is short. And I had been spending lots of time, not lots of time, many years, busting my butt around the clock, collecting awards, collecting recognitions and honors, helping people at the same time. But I was living to work and not really working to live. So in the big grand scheme, I wish I would have spent more time making memories and enjoying the moments and things like that. Now, okay, that's that corny stuff. You could buy my book and figure it out. Look up Gail Watson, look up Voices of the 21st Century, or just DM me and I'll send you a signed copy. But on the real estate stuff, the stuff that you really want to hear, if you're not to that place right now, the stuff that you really want to hear is that I would have started where I wanted to finish, even in terms of my market. Just because you're new, if you want to start off in luxury, start off in luxury. If you want to start off in commercial, start off in commercial. If you want to start off in wholesale, start off in wholesale. You don't have to start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. Because if you start at the bottom, you're just going to get more of the bottom, no matter what. So start where you want to be. I would have also interviewed and hired and maintained the best assistants. Sometimes you start off on a budget and you're afraid to invest in yourself. But I would have definitely hired assistants, hired people, hired agents for the long haul, the long run. Also, pay your taxes. Pay your taxes. Every closing, you create a commissions disclosure agreement, or CDA, or CD. With that commission disbursement agreement, have the title company cut a separate check made payable directly to the IRS. You're supposed to pay quarterly taxes anyway. People just don't. They wait until the end of the year, they get a big bill. So don't do that. Have the title company just cut a separate check to the IRS and pay your quarterly taxes that way. I definitely would have did that. Learned the hard way after owing them $168,000. You don't want to do that. I would have also made myself a client from day one. When we are realtors, our job is we have a fiduciary responsibility to represent the client, whether that's the buyer or the seller. And then we find clients to represent. We find them like, hey, do you want to buy, sell, or invest? But we never ask ourselves that. And even if we ask ourselves that, we never carry it through. So I would have early on, which I really did do anyway, been my own best client first, and been also building my real estate portfolio, maintaining my real estate portfolio, and holding. So I had bought 31 properties before I was 30 years old, but I sold them. I flipped them. I was like, oh, this one has 50,000 in it. Oh, this one has 35. Oh, this one has 60. Sell it. Each one of those properties, if I would have held them, they could have been paid off with 15-year mortgage, and I would have been making over 50,000 residually per month, and not just, deal to deal, transaction to transaction. And I would have gotten into multifamily and held it early on. Definitely would have did that. And I also would have created systems. First and foremost, everything would have been an automated system from the beginning. Now, let me have a little bit of mercy on myself, because back in the day, technology wasn't big. We didn't have GPS like we do now. We didn't have the phones. We didn't have the Apple and everything else. We had Palms. We had Blackberries. So there's a lot of technology that we didn't have, but technology is always around. So let me say this. The one thing that I know for sure, in addition to paying the IRS, in addition to holding my properties and not selling, in addition to maintaining the right staff for the long run, I would have upped my game on technology and been studying what was due to come and learning and taking classes in that. Because my biggest disadvantage a couple years ago probably would have been technology. And social media is technology. Using your phone and knowing all that it does is technology. Being able to DocuSign from your phone is technology. Being able to manage transactions, without a paper file is technology. And technology can help you do 50 transactions a year, 100 transactions a year, 300 transactions a year with a team, while other people are still struggling to do 10 transactions a year. So I definitely would have learned to conquer technology and innovation in the real estate space. I hope this helps. I hope this helps. I hope this helps. If you are a seasoned agent, listen to this, please drop what's the one thing you would have done differently. If you knew then what you know now, what would you do? Help the other agents out. And if you are a new agent, share your thoughts, like, subscribe, and stay in touch. Let me know how you're doing. God bless.